Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 23rd of December 2022. Thanks for joining me. We have a new moon in Capricorn happening on this day. I've made a separate video on that where I go into a lot of detail. So if you're interested in the astrology take on this day, please have a look at that video. It's a super moon, so the moon is much nearer to the earth than it usually would be during a new moon. So the influence is much stronger. It's also the final new moon of 2022. So if you're looking to make changes going into next year, particularly in the areas of work or relationships or your living situation, this is your new moon, and it's in the earth sign of Capricorn, which is all about work and getting things done. So if you have a big task ahead of you, this new moon will really allow you to tap into this super productive energy, and you'll be able to resolve things very quickly and in a way that's very, very satisfying. For this reading, I want to use the Glastonbury Tarot, and I have really fond memories of this deck. I remember I became aware of it somehow, and it was out of print at the time, and I went on Facebook and contacted a collector, and we then met in a cafe in Glastonbury, and she handed over the deck, so that was really a special moment for me. And obviously I lived in Glastonbury for a long time, so this kind of represents home to me to a certain extent. And also the cards themselves, they're just so gentle and beautiful. The colors are so reassuring, and it's just beautiful. Okay, so let's see what the cards want you to be aware of then for Friday the 23rd and what energy you'll be working with. I'm just going to shuffle the cards a few times here if I can manage. Wow, you don't have to shuffle them gently. Okay, just going to do that a few more times. Right, there we go. Okay, so first card is the 10 of Chalices, happiness. The 7 of Swords, boundaries. Maybe that's why you are so happy on this day, because you have good boundaries in place. Could be. Let's see what the final card says. The Maid of Vesicas, which is the Page or Knight of Pentacles. Let me just double check. So we've got the King, another Maid. I'm just looking for court cards here to see. Okay, King, King, Queen, Ace, Wheel, Ace, King, Maid, Maid, Knight. Okay, so the maids are the pages then, because we do have knights in this. Okay. Right, so the Maid of Vesicas is the Page of Pentacles. That's inexperience when it comes to your practical circumstances, or the willingness to see things in a way that's completely new. We've got these beautiful colors here surrounding her. She's not dressed, she's not clothed, so she's making herself vulnerable to a potential new future in her practical circumstances. The pink represents the crown chakra, so her ability to connect with the higher realms. So it's almost as if she's getting information from her higher self that says, look at a new way of doing things. And then we have the yellow around that, which is the solar plexus chakra. That's about control and joy and the willingness and the ability to take action. So I love this depiction of the Page of Pentacles here because it's perfect. I'm not on all social medias anymore. I'm not on Instagram, for instance, but when I was on there, my username was Gregory Scott 444, and I used the 444 because it represents this exactly to me anyway. 444 is listening to your higher self and kind of downloading that energy and then taking practical action based on that information that you've received. So the same as the pink and yellow here. And in my experience, when you take action with that kind of process behind it, the outcome is always good, because your higher self is never going to mislead you or urge you to take actions which could then harm you. It's really a wonderful recipe to make changes. So this card in itself, and I know I'm starting with the last one, but this really drew my attention, is take a moment to say, okay, higher self, intuition, gut feeling, what is it you'd like me to do? What feels good and calm and gentle? And then the practical action steps will follow easily. Okay, so the Ten of Chalices is the highest card in the suit of chalices, which is cups. Cups is the element of water. So again, it's that ability to connect with your higher self and to feel the love of the universe. That's really the key thing in connecting for me. Whether you connect by being out in nature or by meditating or by swimming or by, spending time with another person. For every person, it's going to be different. But this process of connection, when you do it, the side effect is always that you feel loved and safe and held and supported. Just like a cup is a beautiful symbol of that. The cup is meant to receive something and then to hold it in place. So the fact that we're at the 10 of chalices, the 10 of cups here, means that there's an abundance of spiritual energy flowing into you, and it makes you feel happiness. So that's the key thing via both of these cards here. It's important to go within or to connect. That's really going to ensure that you feel a sense of well-being, contentedness, and it's followed up by a practical action. The 10 of chalices usually depict a happy family with the rainbow. And it's a card that says your hopes and dreams are coming true, they have come true, or they will come true in future. All you really need to do is focus on the positive things that you get via your spiritual practice, or you bring to the forefront of your mind the kind of life that you'd want. So what does your ideal life look like? Is it, 2.5 children and a white picket fence and a dog? Or is your ideal future filled with travel and never having a fixed address? Is it as simple as having a relationship or a good job or social standing? Again, people's plans and goals and desires are going to be as varied and different as people are. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what you choose, which desire is important, because you'll get the energy that says, hey, if you pursue this, not only will it make you happy, but it's going to manifest a future that you will absolutely enjoy. Regardless of outcome, it's the process that will be joy-filled and happy and positive. So there is no way that you're going to feel a lack of guidance on this day. It's kind of like a roaring river entering your life, and it's so loud and strong that you almost have to pay attention to it. And it's a good idea to do that because it comes with this side effect of happiness, which is a wonderful side effect. So that then leads to the 7 of Swords. And again, we've got two people meditating. So I feel that is a key thing here, to tap into yourself first and foremost and to say, okay, inner self, gut feeling, what is it that you'd like me to look at? I'm listening. I'm all ears. Tell me. The 7 of Swords is usually much more associated with kind of being self-interested and saying, I'm going to cut corners here to get what I want. In this case, it's very different. We've got all these swords, so either boundaries or difficult situations, but they're being repurposed. They're being aligned to create this circle, to create doorways, and these two are overcoming any kind of harshness of the swords by holding hands here and meditating together. So that's a beautiful solution to this. The thing to avoid is being overly self-interested or being absolutely determined to do everything by yourself. You don't need to. And if you reach out to another person, if you share what you're planning or what your higher self has kind of given you information-wise, it's very likely that another person can help you achieve those things. So it's interesting because you can do everything yourself on this day. You have the emotional resources and the optimism. Then you have the practical know-how to get wherever it is you want to go. But this card in the middle is saying it would be a pity to isolate yourself today because you don't have to do everything yourself. So if that's the case, why not accept help and share and spend time with other people? So the swords are ideas, and a sword obviously is a weapon. So it can cut, it can make clear decisions, it can help you understand things very clearly. But these two are tapping into water, and they're both dressed in blue. So they're overcoming any kind of friction between you and other people by focusing on the similarities and not the differences. So it's interesting that it says boundaries, because I feel you're not going to have any problems with boundaries. And what you're willing to do is to overcome any distance between you and another person. You become much closer. And then you are repurposing the swords, and you can communicate about something that you have in common, and you can help each other out. Wow. Finally, the Maid of Vesicas, I've already discussed. The optimism and the willingness to say, hey, maybe I can live life differently. Maybe this isn't the only place I can call home. Or maybe this isn't the only way I can earn a living. Maybe I would feel very different in a different location, or planning something totally foreign to me or something completely new. I'm not afraid of taking new actions. I'm not afraid of change, which is really so invaluable, because change is something that we all have to go through all the time. And sometimes if you're in a comfortable spot, it makes sense to dig your heels in and to say, okay, I want a break. I don't want to keep changing. I just want to relax for a little bit. But the Maid of Vesicas gives you this willingness to make changes. And because she's so well informed and in control of what she does, and genuinely honest with herself, she makes herself vulnerable, and she's like, okay, I'm not pretending to know everything here. I may not have a clue, but I'm certainly willing to learn. And that's such a wonderful energy. If someone comes into your life with that kind of energy, I can't speak for you, but I'd be very willing to kind of help that person, and I'd also have respect for their process. So what's supported are your relationships, your relationship with Source, and your relationship with planet Earth. And the combination means that you really, there's not much I have to warn you about here. Listen to your gut, take action, and involve other people in the process, and you'll be smiling all day. Okay, number-wise, we've got 10 and 7 is 17, and 1 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9, and 9 in numerology is spirituality, completion, the end of one cycle, and the beginning of another. Oh, wow. So the numbers is saying, listen to your higher self. It's giving you the info that's required to start a new cycle in your life, to start a new chapter in your story. And it's going to be a very warm and positive and rich chapter or part of your life, because you're not on your own. You're taking divinely guided action, and the outcome is going to be this. So hooray, please do make plans for the future. This is the perfect day to do that. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope this gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.